this year. Well, you touched on it a little bit with Quintana. How about the start he's gotten off to, pitching to a 1.8 ERA? 1.80 ERA over his last 3 starts. But the question with him is, his name is always coming up in these trade rumors when a team that's contending maybe needs an arm. Has that changed now with the White Sox potentially, making a run for it? Do you think he's there to stay, or do you think they still potentially trade him?
Well, we talked to Rick Hahn yesterday when, Nate Jones went on the disabled list and talked a little bit about, and I mentioned the injured guys. How about Carlos Rodon? He's still, going through a throwing program for his biceps bursitis in Arizona and hasn't, pitched for the White Sox yet this season. So that's a big miss too early in the year. And Rick said, they're very pleased with what Rick Renteria and his staff have done. They're real pleased with how the team is playing and kind of the culture they've developed throughout the organization, but their plans have not changed. They're in the early stages of the rebuild. Now, I want to see what Rick says if they're in first place come July 1st. I don't think they're going to – I know they're not going to take any of this great young talent they've assembled and start trading them for short-term additions. That isn't happening. They might be able to – if they're in contention and competitive, they might be able to add a small piece without losing too much. But they're not going to change their overall plan. Their goal is for sustained success, to build this critical mass of young talent, and to win – for 2 or 3 years. Not, again, you can only win 1 year at a time. So I assume if they have a chance this year, they're gonna try and do something. But I think, as Rick has used the phrase before, fool's gold. They have to separate whether they believe this team can carry it out through the whole season. Because the worst thing would be to say this team's in contention until the trade deadline. They don't make many moves when they have a chance, and then the team falters in August, September, and you miss opportunities. So they have good people in charge. They'll be able to assess this. They'll know what's going on. But the team is making, just like, Rick Renteria said a number of times, for players in spring training, make it tough for us to make a move. Make it tough for us to send you to Charlotte. The team is making it tough for Rick Hahn, Ken Williams, Jerry Reinsdorf to, make moves because they're competitive. But the focus still is the rebuild without